When working up a patient with skin disease, I explain to owners the step-by-step process of ruling out the different potential causes. And even at this early stage of the workup, I already start discussing the concept of a food elimination challenge trial with owners, making sure that they know it's something we'll need to do after the other causes of their pet's skin disease have been ruled out. That way, owners have a general understanding of what to expect, which helps to prepare them for when the time comes for the food trial. I would explain to clients that an elimination challenge food trial is the gold standard for diagnosing an adverse food reaction. After 8 weeks on a food trial, more than 90% of all dogs and cats with a cutaneous adverse food reaction will show improvement or complete resolution of their clinical signs. In contrast, serum testing for food-specific antibodies or testing saliva and hair have been found to be much less accurate and reliable. In one study, researchers submitted salt water instead of saliva and fake hair samples to a laboratory claiming to provide information about food allergies, and were still given results despite the samples being fake. On the other hand, a negative patch testing with food antigens have been shown to be reliable in predicting what proteins the dog or cat are not sensitized to. And so this may be used to help select ingredients for the elimination challenge food trial. However, patch testing still should not be used instead of a food trial, which still has the highest sensitivity and specificity. It's important to use a test which is reliable and accurate, as the consequences of making a wrong diagnosis can be significant in these cases. Having to be selective on what ingredients to feed your dog or cat can be difficult, costly, and may severely limit what diets are available to an owner. Therefore, it is important that the best test is chosen to diagnose an adverse food reaction so you can be confident in the results. I explained to owners that the selection of the diet for the food elimination challenge trial depends on the dietary history of their dog or cat. The goal is to feed a diet with ingredients the dog or cat has never eaten before, so that the immune cells do not recognize the proteins and have a reaction to them. This can be difficult to determine, especially if many types of food had been fed in the past, or if a full dietary history cannot be obtained. In these cases, the use of a hydrolyzed protein diet is a good option. These diets have proteins which have been broken down into small enough pieces which escape detection by immune cells. Depending on the pet's dietary history, either a novel ingredient diet or a hydrolyzed protein diet are appropriate choices for a food elimination challenge trial. A true food allergy means that there is an immune-mediated reaction to a food antigen, which can be a hard concept for owners to understand. What I tell owners is that a food allergy develops as an abnormal reaction to foods. The body mistakes the proteins in food as something harmful and causes a reaction in the body's immune system. The reaction shows up as the various signs that we see, such as diarrhea, vomiting, and red or itchy skin. So we test for a food allergy by removing the foods previously eaten by the dog or cat and see whether there is an improvement in the clinical signs. However, food allergies are not as common as owners may think. Food intolerances, which is a reaction in the body which is not mediated by the immune system, can also be a reason why an animal doesn't tolerate a certain food. And a classic example of this is lactose intolerance. When first talking to owners about a food elimination challenge trial, I speak about the challenge trial as being a major part of it. This is so owners are prepared and are expecting it as part of the testing. I also try to explain to owners that without the challenge part, it leaves unanswered as to whether the improvement they saw in their dog or cat during the trial was coincidental and due to other reasons, such as concurrent treatments that were given or changes in the environment or season. The only way to know whether the diet was really affecting their pet is to feed it again to see if the clinical signs return. It would be incomplete to do a food elimination challenge trial without the challenge portion. The long-term management of the different forms of cutaneous adverse food reactions is the same. we aim to stop feeding the foods that cause the reaction. To choose the right diet for the long-term feeding, we have to understand what food items the dog or cat is reacting to. This is defined after the food elimination challenge trial, after the dog or cat has a return of some clinical signs after being challenged with the original diet. We then know that there are one or more ingredients in the original diet that are causing the reaction. The next step then is to put the dog or cat back on the elimination diet until the clinical signs recede again, after which we can then individually enter different types of food one at a time to see what the dog and cat can eat without causing reaction. Or alternatively, a hydrolyzed protein diet can be used for the long-term feeding management as well.